Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're reacting to Real Estelí FC versus CS Herediano, CONCACAF Central American Cup 2026 Group B. Third match for both clubs. And Cardenas just scored 4 from Fernandez. There's 2 matches at this hour. Dillon, Estelí, Herediano. Oh, this is just great. Well, okay. Real Estelí FC contra CS Herediano. How we doing? The Wi-Fi's got problems today. It's garbage. With that being said, Cardenas just won 4-0. Shit. 4-0. Huh. Guess that must have just happened. Real Estelí FC contra CS Herediano, la Copa Centroamericana de la CONCACAF, Grupo B, Partido 3. Starting 11s are as follows. In goal for Real Estelí is John Faust. How we doing, El Nini? How we doing? All right. Goalie John Faust for Real Estelí. The back four of Joab Gutierrez, Everett Martinez, Albert Alexander, Calero Arauz, and Oscar Acevedo. Midfield 1, Hector Aranda. The attacking midfield 4, Juan Barrera, Adrian Colombino, Ricardo Blanco, Byron Bonilla. And up top, we have Emmanuel Casado. For CS Herediano in goal, we have Danny Carvajal. Back four of Daryl Araya, Everardo Rubio, Getzel Montes, and Haxel Quiros. The midfield 4 of Eduardo Juarez, Aaron Murillo, Alan Cruz, and Randall Leal. And the front 2 of Sergio Rodriguez and Elias Aguilar. Herediano is a Costa Rican giant. Yes, they are. Alajuelense is better. Alajuelense is better. So, do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. How we doing, Angus? How we doing? Looks like the stream's doing better than... My Wi-Fi is a joke today, is all. Either way. If this game is a good one, we'll review it. You're good on your end. Good. Good. The CONCACAF Champions Cup to come back already. We gotta wait till February for that one. The way things are going on, this game's boring. Here we go. Anthem, or the competition anthem being played, and then teams will shake hands and then get going. Herediano wearing their red and yellow. Estelí at home wearing white, red, and some blue trim. White at home. Man, I hate when teams do that. Team at home has to wear the away kit. Hasn't even started yet. Hasn't even started yet. Game hasn't even started yet. Starting 11, Faust, Acevedo, Calero, Martinez, Gutierrez, Blanco, Aranda, Colombino, Barrera, Bonilla, and Casado for Real Estelí. Herediano jerseys make me want to drink mango juice. Yes. Me and my friend have been going back and forth all season about who's better, Jordy or Pep Beal, since he's a Charlotte fan. Tomorrow would have been a perfect test, but someone had to get a red card. Jorge Lira from Panama is the referee. Yeah. I mean, Jordy's been injured all year, so Carvajal, Araya, Rubio, Montes, Quiros, Rodriguez, Cruz, Aguilar, Murillo, Juarez, and Leal. Well, I mean, that's who's playing, so. Well, there could be a draw, so. Still losing home. So, that's where I'm going to go with that. Here we go. 4-0 for Cartagena, 2-1 for Saval. Shelahu Didianhin will start in minutes as well. Real Estelí Herediano about to start. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if there's a review tonight. Oh, it's definitely AI. I know. The Wi-Fi sucks tonight. I don't know what to do. The game about to kick off. Here we go. Feels like Fairly Odd Parents. There's an anti-Cosmo and a Cosmo. Anti-Wanda and a Wanda. Well, I mean, the anti-fairies were always blue. That is true. Over the top. You know what? Nah, whatever. 0-0, settle a settle. Well, Central American Cup having more people in attendance, I mean, I'm not surprised. Especially for a team who made 2 straight finals. $116. You know what? With the way that Wi-Fi is going, I think I'm just not going to review this game. It's going to waste me too much time. Excuse me. Playing forward. Two minutes in, Herediano to go forward. Thank you. Playing forward, blocked away. Estelí will not run onto it. I know it is. Cleared away. Whatever. Of course it is. Of course it is. Fourth minute. Cross in. It's a little bit better. Either way, 0-0. It's a little bit better. Nil. 0-0. Either way, 0-0. What? How we doing, Mile High? Welcome to the Brain Rot Show. Oh, Lord. But we'll see what happens. 0-0. Estelí looks like the better team, but we'll see what happens. 0-0, 0-0. Boop, 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 boop. Either way, foul, free kick. Okay, it's getting a little bit better. It's gotten better. Let's look at the stats so far. Oh. Well, maybe it's not updated yet. It's funny if Caribbean Cup had stats, but this doesn't. Nil-nil. 0-0 in both matches. Yeah. Nope, no stats. Wide. Goal kick. Oh. Go to casino, spend all your money, watch all your money disappear. Either way, playing forward. Ninth minute. Playing forward. Ball crossed in. Header cleared away. Nil-nil, 9 minutes in. See if that did anything. Helped last time to a certain extent. Shot over the bar. Actually, I don't even know if that's what that has. It has oranges. 7. I don't know. Bill. I don't know what the hell that blue thing is. I don't think it does, actually. No, I don't think it does. You good? A lot of the Wolves fans like Jimenez because he's a damn good player and he was pretty good for them. I don't think that machine has any. I think it's oranges instead. I'm fine. I'm fine, Pepita. Actually. So, do with that what you will. I don't know what those blue things are. Because, I mean, it's more Arabian Nights than anything. Like, why would it have cherries? It's more of an Arabian Nights slot machine. Why would it have cherries? My connection's fine now. Nil-nil in both games so far. 10 minutes in. Oh, Pluto's fallen way back. Galazzo Network. See what we got. It's on Galazzo Network. 11 minutes in, 0-0. We'll go with it. Yeah, the quality wasn't great for a while, no. Not too. That's sort of boring, to be honest. Well, I mean, in theory, that makes sense. It makes sense that the casino is a human deprivation experiment. I mean, if you think about it, it's somehow, I don't know how it makes you part with your money, but ball crossed in. I guess greed. Ball crossed in. I guess greed, maybe. But I guess I don't know. Ball crossed in for Estelí. I'm not sure. But I mean, it makes sense. And I guess the more time you lose, or the more you lose, the more, I don't know. Either way. Playing forward. I'm not sure. Either way. 13th minute. Playing forward, Estelí. Najee Harris signing with the Giants. Wasn't he just on the Chargers, though? Did he only have a 1-year deal with them? What? Besides, Cam Scattaboo. Why? What? Okay. I guess he wants to be a third down back. Or maybe they're going to use Scattaboo less so he doesn't hurt himself. I don't know. We'll see. 14th minute. Header saved! 15th minute. I mean, it's okay. None really much to talk about. If it ended right now, it wouldn't be a review. We'll just move on to tomorrow. TFC tomorrow, of course. 0-0. Estelí's been better, I would say. Herediano had a chance or two. 1-0 to Shelahu in the other game. 1-0 to Shelahu. Either way. Either way. 0-0. Playing forward, 16th minute. Sporting Kansas City signs Andre Luis on a 5-year deal. I don't know why somebody would want to go to SKC for 5 years. Makes no sense to me. Playing forward. Wow. Sixteenth minute. Either way, when does Tijuana? Tijuana? TJ? Tijuana? Probably on the weekend. Talk about, I've never seen them referred to that as that. Friday, no. Saturday, 6:07 against Chivas. At Chivas. So very likely on Peacock. Universo. Alright, yeah. 6:07 on Saturday, Chivas. At Chivas. I think they're going to win that game. Saved. Call me crazy, but I think Tijuana is going to win that game. Chivas sucks. Well, Tijuana's second and Chivas is 9th, so. I mean, it's only by 3 points, but, you know. Chivas barely. They only won because they scored a penalty against Santos Laguna, and they only won 1-0 against Juarez. I'm calling it. Chivas lose to Tijuana, especially if Hormiga doesn't play, because he either leaves or You mean belt to ass? 18th minute. I mean, in theory, right? But either way. Overall, yeah, Tijuana's going to beat. Game is going well, yes. Either way, yes. 19th minute. Ball crossed in. Header. Shot! Blocked off the line. Oh, wasn't blocked off the line, but it would have went in if he wasn't right there. Definitely interesting, but I don't think they have anything to stop that attack. Yeah, I agree. Chivas, legitimately, their defense does kind of suck too. Frankly, Santos had chances against them, and Santos is utter garbage. The only Lewis I know is Lewis Litt. You just got lit up. Oh my God, the Seattle Mariners are losing 21-0 to the Brewers. What the hell happened to the Mariners? Calling it more a beatdown. What the hell happened to the Mariners? 20 runs. 21 runs. This ain't a Green Day song, and we ain't talking about guns. Or a salute. Bro. What the hell happened to the Seattle Mariners? Herediano shot, goal! Goal! Herediano against the run of play. It was Aguilar who gets in, runs past the defender, and slots it home. 0-1. I mean, the White Sox have been good all year. What do you mean turn things around? I mean, either way. What do you mean turn things around? I mean, maybe tonight itself, but either way. What a play. Just runs through. Lord, Estelí couldn't help letting that one through. Aguilar. Elias Aguilar. For Herediano. There you go. 0-1. So, crazy. Mariners suck pretty bad. Like, oh. Wouldn't take you for somebody who didn't like Green Day, but okay. I mean, last year the Mariners didn't suck. They made the ALCS. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because the only thing that makes sense is the only thing that makes sense. George Springer killed the Mariners. I hate to say it, but it was worth it. George, savior of the Blue Jays. I was worth it. Man, I remember that was fun. Man, I remember. That was one of the most epic reactions I think I've ever had on stream. My reaction to George Springer's home run against the Mariners in Game 7 of the ALCS. That was one of the most epic reactions I think I've ever had. I mean, it was on the best of reel because it should have been. 24th minute. Take me back. Take me back. 25th minute. Also, MLB app has been crap for everybody today. Okay. 25th minute. What a goal. That was a pretty good goal. 25th minute for Herediano. Yellow card. Quiros gets a yellow card. The rare 2 RBI sac fly. Free kick for Estelí. Can they turn this around in their own home stadium? You would hope so. You would hope so. Ball crossed in. Header. They don't lose at home, but we might finally see it. That would be sad. Either way, we might finally see them lose at home. Possible. Player down, hurt. .27th minute. Playing forward, cleared away. 0-1, 0-1. Herediano. $22-0 Brewers. Well, I guess the Brewers are feeling 22. I don't know about you, but I guess the Brewers are feeling 22. Boo! 28th minute. I just know somebody booed. Corner for Herediano. Ball crossed in. Header. Oh! Almost a disaster there for Estelí, but they do get it cleared. Playing forward. .29th minute. How we doing, Risklander? How we doing? 1-0 to Herediano. None much. Free kick. Free kick for Estelí, yes. Ball drops down. Pushed over. Oh, no, wow, but hockey's the only season I missed during the off-season. Same. Well, nah, I missed baseball. But I was also in pain. I mean, I do. It depends on how good the Jays are. It depends. How we doing, Captain Falcon? It depends on how good the Jays are. If the Jays are good, I miss baseball. If they suck, I don't. Out, cut the lights before I'm home. 31st minute. You know, I think with a lockout, I'll miss baseball as well, especially, well, at least with a lockout, you know. If the Blue Jays win the World Series, which, I mean, we just won in Tampa Bay in the Trop. We just beat the shit out of the Rays in the Trop. It still didn't blow the game. I had no idea, but doesn't everybody? Theoretically? Doesn't everybody theoretically could? I mean, wasn't there the whole frickin' side plot in Fairly Odd Parents about this? Wasn't there a whole side plot in Fairly Odd Parents about this? With the anti-fairies and shit? Wasn't there? And the anti-pixies, too? Yeah, there were also anti-pixies, weren't they? Yeah. Wasn't there? Either way. So, theoretically, 33rd minute. Weirdly, there was no anti-Danny Phantom, but whatever. I mean, you would think a Butch Hartman show would have the same. Either way. Ball crossed in, you would think it would have the same themes, but that's honestly more entertaining than this game, to be honest. 33rd minute. But if there's a lockout and the Blue Jays win the World Series, at least we'll be reigning World Series champions for longer than a year. Then again, we've done that before. The Toronto Blue Jays were reigning 3-year World Series champions because of the 1994 strike. Because there was no 94 world champion. Technically, it wouldn't be the first time the Toronto Blue Jays were multi-year reigning world champions because of a labor stoppage in the MLB. Wouldn't be the first time. Maybe. Well, what if the Jays won? There'd still be a lockout? If they play the Dodgers, yeah. I don't think the Jays winning would stop a lockout if they were playing the Dodgers. Hell, I don't think the Dodgers losing anywhere in the playoffs would stop a lockout. Honestly, people probably just chalk up the Jays beating the Dodgers as revenge and still say, lock that shit out. They got their revenge. Lock that shit out. And it's not like the Jays are a cheap team either. I mean, it's not like the Jays are a cheap team either. They're in the freaking luxury tax too. either way, let's not act like they're a minnow, like, I don't know, Colorado Rockies. Let's not act like that's the case. They just don't pull the shit LA has. Which, ironically enough, might be criminal. Header. Who would have known Mark Walter is in trouble for using his insurance companies to fund his teams, which is why he's selling. Who would have thought what the Dodgers are doing is illegal? Who would have known? And by the way, here's something funny. Shohei Ohtani's contract has an opt-out if Mark Walter sells his stake in the Dodgers. So in theory, Shohei Ohtani, if the sale is completed, because Mark Walter's selling his shit pretty quickly, it probably could be, Shohei Ohtani could theoretically opt out of his contract at the end of the season. Theoretically. I don't think he'd do it, but I mean, he was close to being a Toronto Blue Jay. Maybe he doubles back when the Jays beat the Dodgers this time and Mark Walter sells. Maybe he doubles back. I wouldn't complain one bit. Cease, Ohtani, you Savage, Jose Soriano, Arrighetti, maybe Bieber. I don't know. Either way, I wouldn't complain. I mean, he was close to being a Blue Jay if he wasn't going to be a Dodger. If he opts out, I mean, I'm sure the Jays would still want him. I mean, he would have friends. Kazuma Okamoto. 37th minute. Either way. I mean, it's just a thought. I mean, if the Jays beat the Dodgers and Mark Walter sells and he can take his opt-out, I mean, why wouldn't he? That means he'd probably leave the Dodgers, but who was the team who was most likely to get him 3 years ago? The Toronto Blue Jays. Caught. So, just a thought. Playing forward, just a thought. Just a thought. Either way, no joke, look it up, it's true. If Mark Walter sells, Ohtani can opt out. It's true. Yeah, that shit was illegal, I don't care. Then again, I'm sure we would find out that if he tried to pull that shit and opted out, then signed for the Blue Jays, you know what we'd find out? It'd be another Kawhi Leonard situation. We'd find out that Yepez wasn't the one betting. It was actually Shohei. Mark Walter would probably throw him under the bus. "39th minute. Yeah. The Kovalchuk thing was didn't they sign a deal that would end up being barred by the CBA? And then he up and left anyway? Yeah, that was a disaster. Yeah, that was a disaster. And they had to hold, and they got Capra captured, didn't they? If I remember correctly. When he up and left, they still had to pay off his money. Barely any of the players would be on the Devils now if Kovalchuk stayed for the full contract. Well, yeah, because you'd be better. Yeah, because y'all be better at some point. But then again, you would rather have Kovalchuk than the Hughes brothers. I don't know about that, Chief. You wouldn't want Heischer over Kovalchuk? I don't know, Chief. I think things played out. For a team that did something stupid, I don't think things played out too badly. Now the Taylor Hall thing, didn't end well, but either way, I mean, for a team that, ball crossed in. I mean, the Taylor Hall thing didn't work out, but nobody thought it would in the first place. I don't think anybody really did in the first place. Either way, also, I think things turned out pretty well for a team that did a lot of stupid shit. Or did a stupid thing and put themselves behind the 8 ball. I think it turned out pretty well. I've supported the Devils since 2020. I was too new to see what actually happened with Kovalchuk, but I know some stuff about it. Yeah. And on the on-ice history and Ballard's bullshit, yeah, I do. 0-1. But either way. But, I mean, I think the Devils in the end came out pretty okay when it came to all that. They came out pretty okay in the end. Player down hurt. They came out okay, but that was a cup-winning team. This isn't a cup-winning team. And there's a lot of teams in the NHL that aren't cup-winning teams. They're just contenders. Sometimes all you got to do is get hot. Oh! Oh my God! That guy fainted! Substitution. That's got to be a concussion. That has to be a concussion. Baez is on for Aranda. Oh my God. He was off the field and then just went down while the trainers were around him. That's a concussion. Well, at least. Yep, they put him on the stretcher. Yeah, I would have put him on the stretcher for the first part, not the fact they lifted him up and then Baez, I guess, on Real Estelí got clattered in the head in the box. Got pulled off the pitch. The trainers picked him up. He walked off the pitch and then fainted behind the end line. And then they put him on the stretcher and carried him off. Oh, that's cool. Must be painful. I mean, I don't think anybody is having fun, but, you know, playing forward. But that's cool. Small world. Very small world. Kovalchuk, 22 games with Montreal, was the very best in a very short sample size. He embraced Montreal. And either way, back to my point, there aren't many teams who I'd say are true cup contenders in the NHL. There are favorites. Those would be the cup contenders. Streets won't forget he scored an OT versus the Leafs. Yep. Definitely won't forget that one. Like the Leafs right now. Would I say they're a cup contender? No, but if things broke right, could they win the cup? Yeah. Said Dorsai goal was a banger. He has faith in TFC. And me having faith with Real Salt Lake. Fair enough. 4 minutes of stoppage time. I mean, that goal was a banger. But either way, like the Leafs, do I think they're a favorite? No. Do I think if things broke right, kind of like the 2019 Blues, they could win the cup? Yeah. There's always teams that everything could break right and they win the cup. Like the 2019 Blues. Sometimes it's the favorite. Sometimes it's the team who you think's going to win it. Sometimes it's a team where everything breaks right. All you have to do is make the playoffs. In my opinion, if you make the playoffs in the NHL, you have a chance. Maybe not as good as others, but you have a chance. Edmonton are frauds. I agree. And for some reason, they thought it would be a good idea to hire Babs. I don't know why. This is either going to end up working for them somehow or go so bad. But either way. Yeah, Edmonton are frauds. I think they missed their window, to be honest. They should have beaten Florida at least one of those 2 times, and they didn't. I think it might be over for them. 45th minute plus stoppage time. Shot, free kick, punched away. Devils had more wins than the Oilers last season. Yep, but the Pacific was garbage. Even more than the Metro. Now, of course, can we really shit on the Metro right now? The reigning Stanley Cup champions are from the Metro. The Carolina Hurricanes were really good, though. They weren't the reason why the Metro sucked. It was everybody else. Hurricanes are still a favorite to me. I think they could go back to back. Panthers, they're probably healthy. Yeah, they're probably a favorite. Montreal Canadiens, I think they're a cup favorite. I think Colorado is. Minnesota, I got to see them do it again. I really do. But Minnesota could be easily a favorite. If Minnesota does the same thing they did last year, they're a favorite. Dobesh got to the top 10 goalies according to the NHL Network. Okay, I'll agree with that. If the Wild start the season the way they started last year, or at the same level as they were playing last year, yeah, they're a favorite to me. Vegas, I hate to admit it, but they're a favorite. They're a favorite. I mean, the way they work, they'll always be a favorite. Yeah, that's about it. Those are the 5 favorites to me. Toronto, Tampa, they have a chance. I think Toronto will make the playoffs. I think Toronto could win the Atlantic if everything breaks right. I think they will finish top 3 in the Atlantic, but I think they could win the Atlantic if everything breaks right for them, and they could win the Cup if everything breaks right for them, but I wouldn't put them as a favorite. I got to see them play damn well. I got to see everything break right for them. I think he did, yes. I think he did, yeah. But, I mean, the way Jaromir Jagr played, he deserved a 100-rated card, even if he didn't have it. But even if he didn't have one base, I'm sure it was one of those add-ons, or whatever. Header wide, I'm sure it was. But he definitely deserved one. Halftime, it's 1-0. Halftime, it is 1-0 to Herediano. Estelí's looked like the better team, but Herediano had a good play, a good attack against the run of play to take the lead. Did Shaq? No, he didn't. No, Shaq didn't have a 100 card in my team. No, he didn't. Shaq was never. I mean, he was good, but I don't think he was ever good enough to even have a 100 card. To be honest, in my opinion. But with that being said, we'll take a short break at half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight. 0-1, 0-1. We'll see what happens in the second half. Looks like no review tonight, but we'll see what happens in the second half. Sit tight, be back. We're back for the half, or the second half. Bayern Munich's Jamal Musiala collapsed his second match in a row. Says he's been feeling weak and dehydrated, no medical announcement. I saw a news piece on Galazzo, the ticker, that said it was some sort of seizures. Of course, seeing what happened to Christian Eriksen, both times he fainted, I would rather it be seizures. But if I had to choose, I guess. But I hate it for him, because what if we lose a guy like Jamal Musiala from a great career that, because of these, it would be sad. I think it would be very sad. But we'll see how the second half of this game goes. It's definitely sad to see that Musiala fainted twice. It's sad. I can't find the stats of the half for this game. But for me, 0-1. I think Estelí's been better on possession and passing throughout the first half of this game. But Herediano got one against the run of play. Not that it was too surprising. It definitely looked like they could. But, overall, I'm definitely... If I was a Estelí fan, I'd be worried. I guess you're not watching this game then. I like that. That's cool. I'm not saying it's because of him, but ever since Donnarumma broke his ankle, he hasn't been good. Oh yeah, Donnarumma was still at PSG at the Club World Cup. Oh yeah, he was. He was. And then he left to Man City. Oh yeah. Yeah, he did. And they didn't play Safanov until the Super Cup. No. You're right. Good catch, Mike. Either way, I don't want to blame Donnarumma. I just think Musiala's got some bad luck. He drew a shit hand. Ever since his injury, he's drawn a shit hand. What can you do? What can you do? He got the ankle break. He got injured right after, or as soon as he came back, he got injured again. Got to play at the World Cup. Then, of course, these seizures and everything that's going on with him. It's not bad. Second half, here we go. Now, I don't think it's Donnarumma's fault, but ever since the Club World Cup a year ago, he hasn't been good. Might be a mix of genetics and poor nutrition. That sucks. That sucks for... But either way, see what happens in the second half, but we will not have a review tonight. I'm just going to finish the stream, and we'll be back tomorrow for the Toronto FC game. So we'll see what happens. Over the next 45 minutes, can Estelí come back, or will Herediano hold on? So that is probably going to be the next wasted talent. Yeah, I didn't think Musiala would be a wasted talent, to be honest. It's definitely sad to see, I gotta say. And here we go. Keanu on for Gutierrez. Nil 1, 0-1. We'll see what happens in the second half. '46th minute. 0-1. Can Estelí come back? They don't lose at home, but they're going to have to find a way to come back. They've been the better team, so they can come back. The question is will they? 1-0 for Shelahu versus Dillon in the second half of that game. Of course, Cardenas beat Verdez 4-0. No surprise there, of course, with Verdez. That is no surprise. Of course, we saw Sabao beat Mount Pleasant 2-1. So there's 4 games today in CONCACAF, and home side winning one, away side winning the other. Of course, Cardenas won at home, but shot! Oh, header in! Offside! Offside! No goal. Well, looked like more of a foul, to be honest. But either way, no goal for Estelí. They cross it through, and there is no goal. Ball crossed in. Shot! Saved by the goalie. 48th minute. Oh. Damn. I'm glad you made it through. Damn. Playing forward. Whoa. Wow. Yeah, we'll just... 49th minute. Playing forward. Ball crossed in wide. I mean, playing forward, cleared away. Playing forward. Cross in, cleared away. Estelí. Nil 1. Playing forward. Estelí in through. Plays. Top of the box. Chip over the bar. They really should have just played that quicker. But either way, 52nd minute. th minute. Fifty-third minute. 0-1. Conral Estelí play forward. Fifty-fourth minute. Fifty-fifth minute. Fifty-fifth minute. 0-1. See ya. Yeah, this game is pretty boring. I don't blame you. And it is late. It's freaking 12:30 for you. Understandable. $56-minute. $57th minute. 0-1. Estelí might just lose at home. And they needed to probably win this match to probably get to the knockout stage. Real Estelí sitting top of 6 points, but if Alianza wins, they'll have 9 points. Marathon and Herediano. Marathon and Herediano have already played each other. Marathon has to play Real Estelí, and they have to play Antigua GF. Nope. They have to play Alianza. Herediano has to play Antigua, and they are playing Estelí. Everybody's going to have 3 games except for Marathon. Herediano could still get 7. Marathon could still get 10 points. Alianza could still get 9. Real Estelí could be in trouble if Alianza don't win, or if Marathon loses one of their last 2 matches. So, either way. Herediano, Estelí might not make it out of the group stage for the 2nd successive year. Headed away. $59th minute. Corner. 59th minute. Yeah, no review tonight. Oh, that's... Damn. Here's some news, and we'll be live for this, of course, the Grand Prix on the weekend. Zachary Harden is set to miss the Dutch Grand Prix due to a wrist injury. The Red Bull driver will be replaced by Liam Lawson. Yuki Tsunoda takes over the seat from the New Zealander at Racing Bulls. Yuki Tsunoda at Racing Bulls v Carb, Liam Lawson to Red Bull. Hajar injured. And it could be this way for a couple of, well, if he's not healthy for another 2 weeks, yeah. What the hell did he do? Is my question. Zachary Harden out of the Grand Prix. Liam Lawson to Red Bull. Yuki Tsunoda to Racing Bulls. Yuki Tsunoda is back, baby. Yuki Hive, rise up! There you go. Liam Lawson to Red Bull with Verstappen. What is it with Zandvoort and wrist injuries? And it's a sprint weekend. Oh! Blocked away. So, I guess we just got to put Sonoda. For this race, I guess Lawson's with Verstappen in the Red Bull slot and the sprint. Sonoda's in the V-Carb slot with Lindblad. And we'll just put Hadjar at the bottom, I guess. So there will be a 23rd place in the Drivers' Championship. Greetings from Herediano. Heredia. Saludos. Saludos. They're doing well to hold on to the lead. To say. Well, I guess there will be a 23rd in the Drivers' Championship this year. Yuki Tsunoda. Damn. I mean, Herediano's doing a good job getting 4 points, points they desperately need in their third match of the group stage. They can still get to 7 points, but they have to play Antigua GFC. Well, they'll probably get 7 points. Next week, it's all to play for to be the top 2 in the group. Estelí still could with 9 points. Alianza still could with 9 points. Marathon will play tomorrow against Antigua. Nope. Alianza. And then they'll play Real Estelí themselves next week in Honduras. Estelí don't lose at home, but this might be the first time I've ever seen it. They didn't even lose at home to frickin' America. This might be the first time I've ever seen this happen. Estelí losing at home. This is rare. Corner for Estelí. This is rare. Wide. Of course Miami's considered an Adidas elite club. Bastards. Well, how do you become an Adidas elite club? Start winning things? Alajuelense abandoned a game against Herediano back in 2011 to avoid conceding an insane amount of goals. Okay, that's hilarious. I didn't realize Alajuelense were poor sports. 66th minute. That is Bush League. Aaron Suarez and Keisha Fuller coming on for Herediano. Herediano's winning without them starting. They've done a damn good job tonight then. Well, there you go. Well, good for them. See, there's a team tomorrow. There's a team called... That's Thursday. That's for Thursday. But yes, Suriname's team. They won the Suriname Major League Final. They played Robin Hood in that final, and Robin Hood was top of the table. They got lucky. Brokey had a upset run to the Suriname Major League Final and won the Suriname Major League Final, which sent Robin Hood to the Caribbean Shield, which made Robin Hood have to finish top 2 in the Shield to make the tournament, which they lost in the semifinals to Mount Pleasant. But Shaquille Stein plays for Brokey, who used to play for Cavalier when they won the title. So, something to think about. SV Brokey is a team many people haven't heard of before. Ball crossed in. It is kind of... '68th minute. One of the most, if not the most infamous occurrence in Costa Rican's league's history. Honestly, yeah, I agree with that. It's Bush League. If you're going to lose a game big, you might as well lose it big. Don't abandon a game because you're losing big. Especially if you're a big club like Alajuelense. Actually, I'm not going to say it's plummeted, but... Well... I mean, they did make a Champs Cup semifinal in 2015, so maybe they were still in an okay position, but they did fall off for a little bit until they made their recent run. But Bush League. We got Cubs or Sox, bottom of the 9th inning. 3-3, bottom 9. Ooh. I'm going to say... I don't know. Cubs had a walk-off last night with Pete Crow Armstrong. Manfred runner, if it gets to the 10th, God only knows what's going to happen. Cubs are at home. They have a chance to answer back. I'm going to say Cubs. I think with the Manfred runner, if you have the chance to answer back, you're in a better position. Because you know how much you need. And normally with a Manfred runner, in most cases, especially the first inning, they come home. So, I'm going to say Cubs. The fact they have to answer back and they're already up in the bottom of the 9th, I'm going to say Cubs. Fernandez needs the 4 years in Dagestan training to be top tier. Send him 3 years Dagestan and forget. 2-3 years Dagestan and forget. And you know what? I mean, if you look at Dagestan, I mean, look, do those fighters only have like one loss in the UFC history? Like the Khabib's father's fighters? Don't they only have like one loss all time? All of them together? They're doing some right over there. They're doing some right over there. I could have sworn I saw like a graphic that said there was only like one loss for all the Dagestani fighters in UFC in their records. Only one. They're doing something right over there. Are the Sabres going to go back to the playoffs? No, I don't think they are. I think the Sabres are going to be replaced by the Leafs. I think the Sabres are going to be replaced by the Leafs. Or Panthers, or both. I think the Panthers are going to make it back to the playoffs. I think the Leafs are going to make it back to the playoffs. I think the Habs will win I really think the Habs are going to win the Atlantic. I think the Panthers and Leafs are second and third. And I think if the Sabres make it, they're going to be a wild card. I honestly think both wild cards are going to be Atlantic teams. I don't think the Bruins are going to be one of them. I really don't. Lightning, I don't think so either. I don't think the Lightning will be either. I think Ottawa, it ain't going to be Detroit. I guess Buffalo will make it back to the playoffs, but as a wild card team. I don't see, unless Washington is better than they were last year. Honestly, I'm going to say it. I think that the top three in the Atlantic are Montreal, Toronto, and Florida. I think Ottawa's definitely a wild card. I think the top three in the Metro are Carolina. Oh, it's in! Herediano scores a second! Own goal! What a failure! And Estelí's going to lose it late. 2-0. 0-2. What a disaster! Estelí losing at home. 0-2. What the hell were they doing? Ball crossed in. And it got hit off the defender and the goalie. Yeah, that's an own goal. Auto goal. Herediano. 0-2. Well, that's the loss. What dumbass. Well, off the defender and off the goalie. Auto goal. Own goal. Herediano has a 2-0 lead. Let's see what's going on in the other game, by the way. 2-0 to Shelahu over Dillon. Faust. Jean Faust own goal. And that is the 72nd minute. 0-2. So there you go. The other semifinal of that Champs Cup was America versus Herediano, but we were the ones that got trashed on that leg. Yeah, I really wanted y'all to win that. Now, of course, I guess in the end, no, I'm glad you didn't, because you would have lost to Montreal, and that would have been hell for me. So, yeah, I had to root for America to beat Montreal. I didn't hate America as much as I do now, though, back then. But I still hate them less than I do Montreal. So I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad you did. Because let's be real, if you didn't get trashed, you would have lost to Montreal. Because Alajuelense got trashed. You both were getting trashed, and that would have been hell for me. So I'm glad y'all did. None against y'all, but I never want to see Montreal win the Champs Cup in my life. So I think it all worked out perfectly. I wouldn't want to change it anyway. As you can see. I wouldn't want to change it anyway. 76 minute. None against y'all. I did want Alajuelense to beat the shit out of Montreal, but back in 2015, it could have happened. I don't think MLS was that far off. That Montreal team was good, but, either way, 76th minute. I think the MLS is just starting to get that far off to the Central American teams around 2015. I don't think Montreal was, but either way. Blocked away. Estelí shot save. 77th minute. '78th minute. No review tonight. We'll move on tomorrow. TFC game tomorrow. (2-0) for Shelahu Diniahin. Playing forward. Wide. Eh. '79th minute. Mariners are rebuilding. I can just see it now. Well, yeah. I feel like the Mariners missed. I feel like the Jays. Here's the difference. Yes, the Jays and Mariners have both been shit this season for both AL finalists. But I feel like the Jays, it was mostly injuries and pressure, and that wasn't a good mix. I think the trade deadline added players that are younger and were more like the 2025 Blue Jays and added control on the pitching end because we still have to get like 3 new starters, or we did, before the trade for Soriano at the trade deadline. I think the Jays did the right thing. They called up younger players. They traded for younger players. They traded for players with more control. And I think in the end that took away the expectations because the Jays sold and bought at the same time, but they sold one of their most known, loved players. It felt like a wake-up call. It felt like, well, we've done so bad, we forced some players to get traded. And they woke up. And Brett Bateman's been a big part of it. The guy they got for Kevin Gausman has been a big part of it. and he replaced Dalton Varsho, and he's better than Dalton Varsho. I mean, they're both center fielders, but Brett Bateman, he might never have played for the Cubs because they already have PCA, but when you look at it, I think the Toronto Blue Jays, they did the right thing, and I think it actually helped them more than it hurt them. Weirdly enough, and I never expected this, to be honest, I think, and they were kind of getting a little bit better before the deadline, a little bit. They've won 7 straight series, and they could make it 8 tomorrow. And they're back in the wild card chase. I think they needed what they did at the deadline. I think they did the right thing, and somehow it's gone even better than expected. Unlike 2024, and I think we were way out of it, I mean, the AL's been absolutely garbage. I think that very much helps. This is basically the 2024 Blue Jays if they got red hot after the deadline and had a chance to make the playoffs while being shit for the bulk of the year. It's basically, I didn't know there was beef like that between Toronto and Montreal. There's a 401 derby. I mean, 401 derby is the most vicious rivalry in MLS. Like, the most serious hatred rivalry in MLS is the 401 derby, in my book. Just like in college football, not that you would know anything about this, but in college football, the most hate-filled rivalry is Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. The Egg Bowl. I think there's a lot of comparisons between the Egg Bowl and the 401 Derby, but of course I would see them. I'm a State fan too, and I would think Toronto's on the side of Mississippi State. Like, they're both the same. Either way, enough about that. I mean, they're real comparisons, even if I can see them because I know them, they're real comparisons. Either way, back to the point I was actually making, I think the Toronto Blue Jays did what they needed to do. I think we could win the World Series. Now, I'm going to be real. I think the Blue Jays, if they make the playoffs, they can make it all the way to the World Series from the wild card. I mean, the Dodgers did it last year. The Dodgers won the West, but they had to play a wild card series, and that might happen again. Sometimes having the bye may not help. And if the Jays are red hot going into the playoffs, look at their schedule after this week. It's everybody against them in the wild card race. A lot of teams under 500. And we're playing the best baseball of all of them. I'm going to be honest. I think the Toronto Blue Jays are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make the wild card. The AL East is out of it. I think the Yankees and Red Sox are going to hold serve enough to where we're still wild card 3, but I think that plays right into our hands. We're going to be red hot going into the playoffs. We're going to have a 20-something and 4 record for the rest of the season. Maybe 20-something and 6. Well, that'd be 32 and 6. Yeah, something like that. We're going to go on a Cardinals 2021-like run at the end of the season. It may not be a 20-game win streak, but there might be a long win streak somewhere in there. But either way, even with that, I still think the Yankees and Red Sox can hold serve as 1 and 2. But either way, and I think they will. We don't have to play them anyway. But I think that plays into our hands. And I think if we play the White Sox or Astros in the wild card, I don't care if we're in Chicago or Houston, which we would be, we're going to win that series. And then even if we don't have home field against the other team of the two, whether that be the White Sox or the Houston Astros, we're going to win that series. And then all we have to do is beat one AL East team to go to the World Series. And I think we could do that, especially if we're red hot. All 3 in a row wouldn't happen. One of the 3, we just beat the shit out of the Rays. Even with our home field, we could beat the shit out of the Rays. We already beat the shit out of the Yankees. We just beat the shit out of the Red Sox. If we're red hot, all we got to do is beat 1. Over 7 games. All we got to do is beat 1. And then, is it going to be the Dodgers? Probably. But if we're that red hot, I think some of these guys are going to see red. I legitimately believe if we make it to the World Series and it's the Dodgers, we're winning. we're winning. The Dodgers lineup looks like shit right now. I'm going to be real. Their pitching, Scooble ain't the same guy he used to be. I think we got on their pitching last year, except for Yamamoto. As long as we win the non-Yamamoto starts, we're winning it all. We learned our lesson. The Toronto Blue Jays, I'm going to call it. Screw it. I'm calling it. The Toronto Blue Jays are going all the way. You thought we were dead. No. We're going from wild card 3. We're getting red hot, and we're going all the way. We're going to win the World Series. We're getting our revenge. We had to work our way there and dust ourselves off, but we're going to do it. The Blue Jays are winning it all. I've seen enough. I have seen enough. And you're going to see me react to every game on the way, just like last year. It's unfinished business. Every playoff game on the way, you're going to see me react to. Just like last year. And this time, we're getting that last win. This time, we're getting 13 wins. Because you have to get the 2 wild card wins. 13 wins. We're winning it all. This time, it's different. But the Mariners, on the other hand, no, it's not injuries. They just all have the worst seasons of their career. And we need to stop acting like Vladdy's the only one who's having a shit season. Actually, he's had a better season than Cal Raleigh. But Cal Raleigh's had a horrible fall off too. But I feel like Vladdy's done better than Cal. But all of the Mariners falling apart. And I think it's karma. I think it's karma for Cal Raleigh not shaking a Rosarena's hand and the front towards enemy bullshit at the World Baseball Classic. Either way, the Blue Jays are winning the World Series. I've seen it. I'm calling it. The Blue Jays are winning it all. They're winning it all. Don't let them get in the playoffs. Don't let them get in the playoffs. Don't let them get in the playoffs. If you do, they're winning it all. I don't care. We're going all the way. Blue Jays are going all the way. Don't care. Hey, in 2015, we won the AL East and lost in the ALCS. 2016, we had to go through the wild card, but we still made the ALCS. Lost in the ALCS. Last year, we won the AL Division. We won the AL East. We lost in the World Series. This year, well, it's just like 10 years ago. We got to make it through the wild card. But we're going to make the World Series. But this time, the only difference is we ain't losing it this time. We're going to win. But just like 2016, 10 years ago, we had to work a little bit harder. Well, that's what we're going to have to do. And if you like baseball, I'd keep an eye on this channel in October. Because, well, if you enjoyed the Jays streams last year, you're going to enjoy them this year. Or if you're here and you like baseball, you're going to enjoy the streams this year. That's all I'm going to say. Woo! Yep, I'm calling it. I believe in the Toronto Blue Jays. 89th minute. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. If you let them get in the playoffs, they're winning it all. Especially if they play the Dodgers. I don't think they're going to fold. Yeah, I think the World Series hurt them. I really do. But if they're red hot and they make the World Series and they see Dodger blue next to them, across from them, they're going to see red. They're going to get their chance for revenge, and they ain't folding. It's not going to be what held them down for the bulk of the year. When they're going to remember the moments that didn't go their way a year ago, and they're going to get their revenge. And if there's still a lockout, don't care. We won it. Either way, 90th minute, 0-2. How much stoppage time? 5 minutes of stoppage time. As is tradition in CONCACAF Champions Cup. As is tradition. as is tradition. Let's see what the score is in the other match. Of course, let's remember Sabao won 2-1. Cartaginez won 4-0. Shelahu winning 2-0 in the 93rd minute. Estelí winning or losing 2-0. No review tonight. We'll review this match, or we won't review this match. I'll be back tomorrow for the Toronto game. 91st minute. We'll be back for the Toronto game tomorrow. Shelahu, Dillon 2-0 to Shelahu. Shot! Saved! Cleared away. How much stoppage time did they get in the other game? 2-0 to Shelahu. Shelahu, 3 points in the group. Everybody's on 3 points in the group. Dillon Hens played their 4th match, and they're only on 3 points. LA Firpo on 2 matches. They'll be playing later this week. We'll be live for that. Amador on 3 matches. Alajuelense. I guess Amador's got their... Dillon Hen had the 4 straight week schedule, didn't they? Damn, that sucks. Well, at least they're only eliminated. At least their 4 straight week schedule gets them eliminated early. Ball crossed in. Weirdly enough, I don't think anybody had the 4 straight week schedule in this group. Oh, wait. Well, whichever one does play. Marathon's got to play 2 straight weeks. Well, Alianza had the 4 straight week schedule. And a red card to the Herediano backup goalie in the 93rd minute. What the hell? And it's full-time. Shelahu wins 2-0. There you go. Dillon Hen stuck on 3 points. 3rd minute of stoppage time. So that's out of it. Estelí. Anthony Walker, the backup goalie, off. Playing forward. Here's a chance. Herediano blocked away in the 94th. 1 minute to go. Corner. '94th minute. '95 minutes of football. We're past the 5th minute, over the top. Whenever the referee calls for full time, we're going to know. Brought down. Over the top. Cleared away. Happy Wednesday, by the way. 96th minute. We'll be back. Playing forward. Header. Caught. Headed on. Cleared away. Header. Free kick. Herediano. 96th minute. We got a Toronto game tomorrow, or well, later today, 6:30 p.m. Central. Full time! It is over! Herediano beats Estelí at Estelí. Estelí don't lose at home. Well, they did tonight. 1-0 esta noche. Herediano ganador. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Hit that hype button to put us up in the algorithm. Hit that join button to become a member. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you later tonight because it is Wednesday now. 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern for Toronto FC versus Charlotte FC live in RSR. There will be a review for that one no matter what. It's TFC. Thursday, we got Defense Force FC versus SV Broki live. Alianza FC Panama versus CV Olympia live RSR. Or live, just a live stream, my bad. LA Firpo versus LD Alajuelense live RSR on Thursday. Friday, we're off. Saturday, we got Toronto FC in another game. And then Sunday, we got the Formula 1 Dutch Grand Prix. Next Monday, we have the Leagues Cup group league phase recap and knockout stage predictions. Tuesday, we have both Leagues Cup, 2 of the Leagues Cup quarterfinals. Wednesday, we have the other 2. Thursday, we have Olympia next week. So, next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow for Toronto. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.